Alright folks, so right now I am trying to set up flood barriers. So you'll see here I got a flood barrier getting filled up. So we got a flood barrier getting set up right now for Hurricane Milton here in Cape Coral, Florida, because the hurricane decided to take a turn. Hey folks, so I'm setting up a hurricane flood barrier right now for Hurricane Milton. This is not a sponsored video, this is real life. I ended up flooding in Hurricane Ian, so I found these flood barriers, I'm getting them set up. And yeah, we're trying to prepare for this. So I'm setting one up right in front of the garage door. If you have anyone that you know that floods a lot or that has risk of like hurricanes, check out the link in my description. It's not sponsored, but I paid for all these flood barriers. They're super affordable. Like this one I think is like 50 bucks and it's still filling up. It ends up becoming this huge, giant, heavy bladder. And yeah, they're just very, very affordable. That's why I'm making this video, so that hopefully it can help some people. What I'll do is I'm gonna lay tarp underneath, and then the tarp is gonna run up a little bit and be able to hopefully protect this area from getting water. I have another 24-foot version that's gonna run here, and we're gonna end up getting that one set up, and that will hopefully keep water from coming in the front of the house. And then the back side of the house, I got some that I'm gonna be setting up. Hey, Nori. So right now, this is how it works. So basically I got a garden hose running into here, and it's starting to slowly fill this up. It's starting to get very heavy. And then it has D-rings. You'll see the D-rings here. We can use the D-rings for additional anchor support. So that's how this flood barrier works. But basically you can get like 12-foot versions, 24-foot versions, and you can get 48-inch versions at the link down in the description. But yeah, I'm not trying to sell you on them. I think they're a good deal, and I think they could help out a lot of people. This house flooded in Ian. So if you are able to buy some, it will end up helping the channel so that I can buy more of these so I can help out my friends and neighbors, because I didn't catch it earlier. So I've been trying to get more of these so I can help out, you know, people in the neighborhood here and my in-laws. But I was only able to buy so many with the money I had. So I'm gonna set up the camera right here. This is the back of the truck. I actually got all my tools in here in case the house floods. Then I have all my tools ready to go so that we can tear into the drywall. I'm really hoping that we don't have to do this, but this way of life has become all too familiar right now for those of us in Florida. So yeah, I'm gonna be working on this right here, and you guys can just see what the process looks like. One of the things I do is I use Flex Seal type tape, or I use like a RV roof tape, and I'll tape the tarp material to the wall. It will peel off the paint. The paint is gonna come off of the wall here. That's just how well it sticks. I keep this garden hose from kinking. So later on, if we survive this and we don't end up flooding out, you'll be able to see the footage of what I'm doing, so that hopefully other people can learn. And they'll either learn that this is a stupid idea and it didn't work, or they'll learn that, hey, it works, and maybe it will help them. I don't know. my buddy Heath with Yak Tribe, actually that's his hat, he's up in Tampa. Tampa might be getting hit again. He already flooded once in the last week. The Gulf waters are way too warm, and these storms are just picking up really, really fast. It's just like, it's the worst hurricane season right now. And we knew that it was going to be a possibility last year because the Gulf waters got so warm. We knew it could be a nasty season. So anyway, that's going to keep filling up. That bladder is. I'm just going to keep rolling live. You can check in, you can check out whenever you want. If you share this, that helps out. It shows kind of what we're starting to do here in Cape Coral, Florida. It also might help someone. There's still some of those available, and maybe people have enough time to get them. I don't know. But yeah, it's heavy. It's already heavy, and it's not even fully filled. So you can see there, it's going in the bladder. I do not want to flood. Do not want to flood again at all. Mainly for my daughter. This is already getting traumatic for my daughter. Seeing the last storm, Helene, last week. She was getting scared. She wanted to get out of here. But if we had gotten out of here, we probably would have got water in the house because, well, I had to run around this house like crazy trying to lay up plastic and everything. I didn't have these yellow barriers yet, which makes life a little bit easier. So at least I'm hoping that's the case. So far it seems like that's the case. So this is the company right here. So this flood barrier, it fits in a little box. It fits in a Rubbermaid tub when you're not using it. You know, this is what that yellow barrier thing is that we're basically, you know, filling up with water to try to protect this part of the house. I think this one here is the 24-foot version, and I got it for around $70 to $99, I think. So that's what that looks like. It's kind of like that inflatable paddleboard material. You see right here? It's like, it's thick though. Like it's pretty thick. It doesn't feel like it would get cut up too quick. So we're just gonna lay that one here. I got 2 of those. Total, my bill was like $250, I think, for these flood barriers. So I think I paid like $250. If I could afford more, I would have bought more, and then we could have helped out, you know, like my neighbor next door and stuff. Because, yeah, you know, you're only as strong as your neighbors. So, you know, when you're dealing with a big disaster, having neighbors in a good shape, you all strengthen each other. Like, so you got to take care of your neighbors. Unfortunately, I was not able to get more of these in time. Hey, Christina, thank you. Yeah, so here, speaking on that note, Christina, you mentioned God. I think that's a really cool thing. So when disasters hit, people can blame God. But God allows things to happen sometimes because he has a greater purpose for us, a greater lesson for us. When Hurricane Ian flooded our house, we ended up learning a valuable lesson that, you know, the stuff we had wasn't important. And people tell you that, but you don't believe it. And you also get angry when people tell you that, because their home isn't flooded, yours is. Well, they're right though, and sometimes I think maybe God sends those lessons. It sucks. It doesn't make sense sometimes, but there is God moments in every storm, and God is way bigger than the storm. He's way bigger than Helene was. He's way bigger than anything. When I went to Tampa the other day, I was in an area with Yak Tribe, my buddy Heath, and we were looking at a neighborhood that was totally devastated, and it almost brings me to tears. It's a pretty powerful thing that I saw. For one, everyone's helping each other, but I saw devastation everywhere. And then I looked at this person's lawn, and you'll never believe what I saw on the lawn. I saw not one, but I saw 5 Jesus 2024 signs stuck in the lawn. Flimsy little signs that there's nothing that makes sense to why that sign would be in the lawn. And that's what survived. The homes were flooded, the trees were ripped out of the ground, mailboxes were ripped out of the ground, but there was not one, but 5 Jesus 2024 signs in the ground. It makes no sense. And we knew the person that lived there. He didn't just put them in the lawn. Like, we knew the person that lived there. And so, yeah, I mean, there are total God moments, and you just got to trust that there's a bigger plan and that things are going to be okay. And we're going to work together. The human spirit is stronger than the storm, and God is bigger than the storm. And we're just going to keep working at this. Yeah, that's basically it. I wanted to tell you that, though. So the bladder here is getting pretty big. So this bladder here is starting to get bigger and bigger. It takes quite a while to fill this thing up. And it is very heavy. It's actually probably sealing this tarp really well. So that's huge. That will hopefully help out a lot. I should be able to then take this tarp and maybe run it, I don't know, weight it down some more maybe if I need to. But I take this tarp and like strap it around the house or something, or maybe I run it up through that seal up there to try to like tether it in an up position so that the majority of water cannot get into the garage. All I need to do is slow it down. You know, storm surge comes in and then it comes out. And it's not coming in over days. It's usually coming in over just a few hours. So if I can slow it down getting in here, I can probably keep damage from happening in the house. So that's my biggest goal. Is I'm not even expecting to stop it completely. I think I can, but if I don't, at least I'm slowing it down to where I may be able to live in the house after the storm and not have mold and all that stuff happen. So I see there's 5 people. Hey, you 5 people, you're warriors. Thank you for coming on and for basically watching the channel and supporting. We're preparing for Hurricane Milton. We're in Cape Coral, Florida. It was supposed to be going up towards Tampa, which was not a great spot. I feel for the people in Tampa. They already just flooded. I was just up there. And now it looks like it's going to go more south and probably hit us. Unfortunately, you don't want to pray for the storm to go in any one direction because then you're screwing over the next person. It sucks. But we are trying to prepare for it. We got these flood barriers. So right here, they're linked in the description. They're not sponsored. I did not get paid by this company to say anything about these. I don't even know if they work, but they were a good price. And this one's 24 feet long, and I paid 72 bucks for it, and it's 12 inches high, and it's just a big, giant, heavy bladder, like to deflect water. Basically like you see right here. This is the 12-foot one. So we'll see. Hopefully it works.
shoulder short last time was 3.5 inches.
Yeah.
And that was a 5.4.
Yeah.
So 5.75.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
And I'm putting everything, just, I'm putting everything, no shovel, none of that's gonna be empty.
Yeah. 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 We're throwing in a bunch of stuff in the garage. We took down the material for the tram thing, and yeah, we're working on it. Yeah. There's gonna be shit flying around. Yeah. What? Is it sailboat in there? What is sailboat? Did you get one? No. Well, fucking get to the storm, park it in the freaking mangroves and tie it in. Oh my god. They should have tied it into the mangrove. They should have gone down to like Jewfish or one of the spots, tied it into the mangrove. I mean, depending on what fuel system it has, tie it in. That's the best thing you can do. Yeah. Hey. Oh yeah, I can see it. Oh my gosh, that's not good. That's gonna break off and play frickin' Plinko with everyone's houses. Well, luckily, hopefully, I mean, you don't want to go in anywhere, just screw it over the expert, but hopefully it throws it that way.
Oh, for sure. And it's upside down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's carrying around. No, I'm not doing it. If I hit my little unit right there, I want to make it really big.
Go down the
Go get that goddamn chair, and I'll give him the bill.
Yeah. Yeah, he.
Trying to fucking get it.
I don't understand how you could move to Florida, have a vacation home, and then not try to.
He was here last week.
Yeah. When you're leaving, not try. I mean, you know, it's hurricane season. What are you doing?
Put it in your can.
Yeah, don't leave that shit on the dock.
Coming here tomorrow, you never know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hope you got gas.
Yeah, we did.
Just said, they're out, they can't wait for the fine island fine fuel. But if you need gasoline, I got a 30 gallon or 25 gallon. In my dock box over here.
Gasoline.
So we are preparing for the hurricane. That's what we're up to. You probably saw that by the title. We got flood barriers right now that we're laying out. So you can see this flood barrier. So you gotta get this lifted up here. Yeah, Hearst Outdoors, that's the new ones. So I'm just tilting this down so you can see them here. I'm just trying to kind of move this and give this barrier some shape. But yes, these are the new ones. I'm going to temporarily turn the water off here while I try to position it a little bit. So far this is looking pretty good though. I mean, it is very, very heavy. Very heavy. So you can see right here. So this is the flood barrier. This is the new ones that I got that you probably saw. I'm gonna position, I'm gonna clamp you right onto here so that you guys can see a little bit from this perspective. But yes, these are the flood barriers here that we're putting up for Hurricane Milton. And then what I did is I put a tarp underneath, so that way I can lay the tarp out to try to get my height, so that if the water comes over that bladder, the bladder is still doing work by holding the tarp. So that's kind of the goal. So this is what came in the kit. There's these little like rings and stuff. And then there's these little tab things. I think these are so that you put bricks or heavy stuff on here and it keeps the bladder from rolling. I think that's how that works. I've never used these yet, but they seem good, so. I'm gonna try to rotate it a little bit. It's hard to move though. It's very good. Trying to look.
What can I help you with?
I'm trying to, I don't even know, Katie. I am trying to roll this so that this gets to a higher position. So maybe I can fill it up more. I don't know. But, these supposedly put on the D-ring. I think you can put like weight there or something and then it helps hold them. That's the logic. I think that's how this works. One over there. That is heavy. I mean, it's exactly what it needs to be. It's heavy. It's like a giant sandbag. Yeah. Actually, I don't know if those little tab things are great. I might just take the D-ring and just tie it to the weights, just to kind of keep it from rolling. I think that might just be better. But this I was gonna go right over there.
And then you have another one for the back.
Not this size, they're smaller. And I'm mainly gonna tape up and like flex seal the walls for that door. But it's about as good as we can get. Go like that, and then that keeps the bladder from rolling forward. It's not going to roll over that too quick. I don't think we have to hold this up because I'll tie it up later on, or I'll figure out a way to somewhat secure it up. I think I'm going to run straps or like board there through the top of the door, and then pull it down from the inside. This is what I thought might make sense. This is the biggest entry into the house, I think. And with Helene, when you were here with Helene, the water came in faster from the front of the house than actually in the back of the house. So, a little nervous. So we just parked the big sailboat in the canal, and I think it's tied up to a dock, so it's probably not very secure. Down at the end of the canal, they tied up a big sailboat, and so I'm hoping it doesn't.
Is it their land?
Well, yeah, the people know who it is, but I'm afraid that it's gonna come loose and then just play Plinko with all the houses. Okay, so we're gonna do this one. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not. Really, I mean, it only is going to protect in terms of the physical barrier will protect if like water is below it. Otherwise, it's all going to depend on it holding down the tarp. So I really don't need to put much more water in it. Helene didn't throw that much water, at least there. So that's good. Trying to figure out what to do. Do I run it this way? Maybe? Because I'm afraid that water's just going to seep around if I try to make it bend.
If you try to make it diagonal.
So I wonder about just having this blocked like this. I don't think the wind is going to do anything to this being open. And lay tarp like here, maybe underneath. I'm trying to think of, like what's going to make this barrier the most effective. I think that
Can we take the door off? Then put the door in the garage? I'm just saying, I just don't want the door to get damaged when we replace it.
yeah. Okay. So laying out another barrier here. This is another flood barrier. This is the 24-foot barrier. It's the same diameter, same height. So you're gonna end up inflating this here, kind of like this one. But we're gonna run it that way. I might take this door off, I think, and then that way I'll just run it right there, or I could even run it at a slight angle a little bit. But you can see how big this barrier is here. But this barrier was about $72 is what I paid for this barrier, believe it or not. You can find the link in the description. I think I paid like 72 to 99 bucks for this big long bladder barrier, which is kind of like this but bigger. So this is the biggest one they make. It's 24 feet long. Yeah, it's not bad at all. It really isn't, Hearst. And I paid for it. I mean, so this isn't sponsored, but I'm trying to get sponsored with more of these so I can help out my friends and neighbors. So I am trying to work with the company to get them to send me more, but I did buy all of mine. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do right here. If I'm gonna put a tarp in, like I did over at the other one. I do think I need to, take the door off though. I think that door is gonna get in the way, or it's gonna end up possibly hitting this. I don't know. So I'll possibly do that now. Let's just take that off. This garage is a mess now because we've had to just stuff everything in here. I'm gonna put the camera aiming right here. I just gotta grab a bit for my drill so that I can hopefully remove that door. Sounds good? Smash that like button. Help me out, please. I'm just sharing the hurricane prep, so hopefully maybe other people can learn and get some benefit. Thank you for that like. Okay. I know it feels weird probably liking someone who's trying to save their home from flooding. The topic's not necessarily great. The topic actually kind of sucks. It's not fun. There. There you go. Just trying to save the house. I think I can put this anywhere else. I don't think. Maybe. It's going to be more effective here. This is where it's going to be more effective. Who am I talking to? I'm on live right now, Sailor. Yeah, with the YouTubers. My daughter's like, who are you talking to, Dad? I'm just making sure that, well, Daddy's going crazy for different reasons. Yeah. the door off. It's coming off. There's just a lot of fasteners. Go to put the flood barrier in. Oh, this is the unedited, uncut, unfun part of living in Florida during a nasty, nasty hurricane season. So. So right now, we're gonna take this flood barrier and hopefully start filling it up. I just gotta prep it a little bit because I want to have it in the right orientation, because once I start filling this up, it's going to get very heavy. So I need to kind of get it the way I want it right now, because I'm not going to be able to move it very easy. Just trying to plan this out here. I'll let you see kind of what entryway I'm dealing with. So this is the front of the house, the front entryway. So we got this long barrier here. When it's basically filled up, it's going to be a big bladder like this, big and heavy. So I'm trying to figure out how to put it where it's going to do the best benefit. I thought maybe running it sideways, but the problem is this stuff's all in the way and it's not going to make a nice tight seal. It's going to be kind of not making a tight seal at all. So I thought maybe just run it right through the doorway, just like this. and maybe that would be better. That way I just get, you know, I can like hold it up against the wall almost for support. So that's kind of the game plan. That's what I was thinking. But I don't know. What does everyone else think? I don't know. It's that's just kind of what I'm thinking may work best. I'm not sure. So I mean, it's like just a big heavy bladder basically. And I'll stack other heavy things in front of this to kind of keep it held in this space, because in this space it wants to, it basically is holding really well in between this space, because there's two planter boxes and it's almost the exact length there. So it helps seal off and it helps hold this plastic tarp there really tight. This tarp you can see here is going to be able to get strapped up. So I'm going to probably take the guides, these little grommets, I'm going to run some line, I'm going to run it over the garage door. And then I'm going to, from the inside, pull on those cords and tie them up so that this tarp is basically held up high. And when water comes over the barriers, it will push up against that area and it will kind of just hold the tarp in place and seal up all the seams. I don't know, that's the best I could think of. So I do not want to flood again. I do not. It's almost like traumatic. It's getting really old here. But everyone says, oh, just move. Where are we going to move? I mean, they're like, oh, just move, you know what, you live in Florida. Okay, am I moving out of the state of Florida? Is no one going to live in Florida? Because if no one's going to live in Florida, then some other country's just going to take it over. I mean, someone has to live in Florida. I don't know. maybe that's a weird rationale, but you know, we don't even have to live in a flood zone to be flooded. Like, there's people that don't live in flood zones that have no requirement for flood insurance and they still are flooding. So I don't even know where the hell I would move, even if I were to move. I mean, heck, the freaking Carolinas, look at that. I mean, who would have thought, you know, a hurricane would have done something like that? It's crazy. This is absolutely nuts. So I mean, people say, oh, just move, like it's something easy to do, but it's not. And this house was 1964 built and it never flooded. Like, we bought the house in 2015, it had no history of flood, none. And now we have 2 years in a row basically where we're getting hammered with hurricanes, and we've already had to fix the house up back in Ian. So I'm like, I don't know what to think. You know, is this just an anomaly? Are there any of you guys in Florida? I mean, any of you guys live in Florida? What are you guys doing? So right now I'm probably going to switch this camera that you're seeing. I'm going to switch it over to me, and you'll just see what I see, and you'll just be in the process with me. So that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to take this camera that you're watching right now, I'm going to mount it on me, and then you're just going to see what my hands are doing and where we're going, and in trying to protect the house. So, I mean, this is the Kayak DIY house. I have no other house, I'm not rich. So I am trying to protect it with big flood barriers. So I'm gonna move you to me cam, basically. It's so you can see what I see. If I can, which I don't know if I can now because for some reason I can't get this thing loose. Okay, there we go. Now I got it loose. I'm trying to get the camera mount loose here so that way I can mount it on a neck cam. And then that way you guys can just see what I'm doing here. It's a little bit easier, more interesting than probably just seeing one viewpoint. You'll be able to kind of move around the house with me and see what we're doing. Okay, there. Now you can see me, my viewpoint. So right here is flood barrier number 1. This is for the garage. The big tarp is going to end up getting pulled up in front of the garage door. This is barrier number 2. This is a 24-foot long, 12-inch high, 20-inch wide bladder. And hopefully this will help keep water out of the front door area. That's the game plan. So I am waiting on tarps though. I'm waiting on tarps, and I really I almost wanted to wait for this one for the purpose of getting the tarps, but I don't know. Then the flip side of it is I'm not sure exactly where I would mount the tarp. You know, like with that one, the tarp made sense. I'm not sure where I would put the tarp here. I think I might do something different here. I have smaller ones of these. And I could put a tarp over the door and lay those sandbags there. So that might be what I do here. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think we'll fill this up. So I got one more big ones of these too. If I had 3 of them, I could probably lay them on top of each other and strap them together. In case you're wondering, I am filming this process as well, just because it might help other people. So you're getting a little bit of a viewpoint of behind the scenes. Because I think these barriers, if they work, I think they could help out a lot of people. There we go. Okay, so let's get the water rolling here. Let's start getting these filled up. So I have the link to this bladder, this flood barrier. I have the link in the description, and I think it might give a discount. I don't know. So check it out. But these are the barriers that I bought. No one gave them to me. So there's these little D-rings on each side, and they're for weighting down the bladder. So you can see, like, for example, they have these. So these clip in like this, and then they clip into the side here, and then you can basically weight down the bladder. So I can put something heavy over here, and it will help like hold this bladder here, is the idea. There's Sailor. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm fighting so hard. I do not want this to happen again to her. When Hurricane Ian flooded our house, this was miserable. It's, you know, you can deal with it as a man, you can deal with it, you know, as an adult, but when you have kids, all you want to do is try to keep a roof over their head. And so that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm fighting so dang hard to not do this again and not have to basically have her experience that. So I'm just kind of opening this thing up. So I'm leaving a little bit of slack here so that it puts pressure up against the wall. Sailor, don't ride the bike in the house, okay? I just put it in, what? Okay. I know it might look like a total mess, but actually this process has been a lot easier than the other process I've used. So these barriers are definitely giving me a lot more peace of mind, and they're definitely going in a lot easier. So that's making me pretty happy. So this is going to take a while. This is going to be a lot of water. Looking for the plastic. So think I'm going to use this plastic. No, I don't know. I don't think this plastic's actually going to fit as much. I need more. I need a wider. I want to be able to tuck the plastic underneath there. Okay, we're going to save this plastic for another thing. Turn the water up here. No, this is not a waterbed. Okay. I'll grab more of these here. Well, I'm going to end up stopping this. You can kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm going to end up stopping this. I'm going to migrate over to Instagram and check out a few of the people over there. You guys can see or follow me over there if you like. And you can follow along further. And yeah, just trying to help out as many people as I can by basically showing these bladders that I purchased. So I bought these and they were not sponsored. You know, I picked them up I got a whole bunch of these for like $200 and some. Like this big one right here retails for around 70 to 100 bucks. And it's still filling up. When it's filled up, it becomes like a giant, huge, heavy sandbag. I mean, it's just massive. There's so much weight there. Yeah, I have these linked in the description for anyone that's interested in them for future storms. Probably not going to be able to get them, you know, shipped to you in the next day or two. So if you're, you know, going to be get hit by Hurricane Milton or anything, or Kirk or whatever the heck, the ones that are all out, you're probably not going to get these in time. But for future storms, maybe. There's so many damn storms out right now. I just plain I can't even keep track. I don't know what's going on. Really just trying to have it where it keeps pressure right there up against the wall so it gets a good seal. Okay, so that's kind of a last look there. I'm going to migrate over to Instagram. You guys can follow me over there, okay? Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. And please say some prayers for my family, my neighbors, my community, and even the people still in Tampa Bay. Although it looks like the storm is now going to hit me instead. They're still recovering from Helene. I know this because we were just there trying to fix up homes. So we were just with the Yak tribe helping them out. So yeah, please say some prayers. We don't want to flood. I mean, who wants to do that? That's no fun. So anyway, signing out.